All right, very good.
That's what I hate about this.
Okay, it is 6:30. Lauren, are you on yet?
Give it just one more second. It's
Okay.
still generating on YouTube. Okay, you're
Hey,
good
Tom.
to go.
Okay, it's 6:30. I'll call this budget and finance meeting to order of Monday, August 31st, 2020. You should have all have received a copy of the minutes from the previous meeting via email, and I would entertain a motion to approve.
I make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Savage. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Commissioner England. Are there any additions or corrections to said minutes? If not, all in favor say aye. Are there any opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Do we have everybody present?
Yes, I believe everyone's here, Commissioner Savage.
5-0. Okay. Okay, I'm
Take me
ready.
just a second to get back to my docket. I was conversing with Commissioner Savage trying to get, here we go, I'm almost there. Okay, the first item tonight is amendment number GFFY 2021-1. And if Justin would need to speak to this any more for clarity, I'd be welcome to have his input. But what this basically is, when we approved the budget in last month's meeting, we actually amended the charitable contributions list after the fact. So that being done after the budget, we would have to approve this through budget and finance. Justin, you have anything to add to that?
No, that's exactly what this is. This is just putting the budget in line with for the changes that were made in the resolution that was voted on afterwards for charitable contributions.
All right. Thank you. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Motion by Commissioner England. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Taylor. Is there any discussion concerning this motion?
Just for the minutes, say that slow, what it is. I'm trying to write as fast as I can.
Okay, Commissioner Savage, we approved the budget prior to amending the charitable contributions list.
Okay.
And that's why we're having to vote on this after the fact.
Okay. Okay.
Is there any more discussion?
You want me to call the roll?
Yes, please.
Okay. Get ready to call the roll. Randy England,
Yes.
Christy Ross,
Yes.
Scott Rubley,
Yes.
Tommy Savage votes yes. Cole Taylor,
Yes.
motion carries 5-0.
Thank you, Commissioner Savage. Okay, the next item on tonight's agenda is Amendment GFFY 2021-2. And there are a couple of things going on in this one, and I'll let Jason speak to it if there are any questions. But basically, what we're doing, they have requested that we move $37,607.85 from the jail 54,210, and that would be line item 165 cafeteria personnel, and we would be moving that from the jail budget to the sheriff's department budget 54,110 to line item 106 deputies. And also there is 6,061.23 that is within the sheriff's department budget line item 189, and that is coming from salaries and wages, and move to that same line item 106, I think. And those two combined would be 43,699.08. And what this is, the cafeteria had an employee, and since we have gone to contracted services in the cafeteria, that position is no longer needed. But according to, I talked to Major Walker, and he can speak on this, but they do have a need for another position. And what they're doing is shifting this money over to that other position. Major Walker, would you like to speak on that position and what it entails?
Yes, I can. What it is, we talked to Justin about the best way to move this over. During business hours, we have a lot of people who come up to the sheriff's department to speak with a deputy or warrants that need to be served and other things. And so what we're wanting to do is create a position where somebody's there at the front lobby Monday through Friday during business hours. This person will be able to talk to the public when they come in. There's also other duties that this person is going to be taking over. One thing is going to also be our evidence tech, which is going to take the burden off of one of our investigators who has to spend probably most of his mornings on just doing evidence. So he's not able to get out and work on some of the cases he has. It's going to benefit both sides, the sheriff's department and the jail side. With someone there, they're going to be able to process somebody quicker, because a lot of times whenever somebody's needing a warrant served or something there in the jail, they'll have to call a deputy in. And if they're busy, if everybody's busy, sometimes it can take 30 minutes to an hour for somebody can get out there to serve these warrants. So it'll help speed up the process with booking. There's a lot of things. One thing is this person is also going to help work on some of the IT issues that we have. The person that is in mind for it is pretty good with IT. And so that person is going to kind of head that up. And whenever we do have to talk to our IT guy, will be the one speaking to him rather than Chief Ramsey. So if you got any questions, I'll try to answer them.
Okay, and there is a second part to this amendment, and basically there's a $16,000 change besides these two changes. And what we would be doing here, and this is their suggestion, and I think Justin spoke with them about it, we will be moving $16,000 from the jail budget 54,210, line item 716, that's law enforcement equipment, over to the sheriff's department budget 54,110, line item 399, which is other contracted services. And what they would be doing with that money is updating their policy. My understanding, there are a lot of specialized requirements in the sheriff's department's policy from legal standpoint and whatnot. And there are very few companies that can do this. And I talked to Jason about this earlier today, and he gave me some information on the company. I think that, and I don't know, I asked Jason a question. He was going to try to find an answer about how long this company would be willing to do addendums or amendments to this policy. And Jason, if you would speak on that just a little bit, please.
Yes, Lexipol does for a year after the contract is out. They will do updates and amendments for a year. After that, it is an annual fee if you do want to do it. Sorry, I thought I was on mute. There is an annual fee if you do want to do it. The thing about it is nowadays with the technology, it is a lot easier to update and not have to use the services. It's just the part of getting it all together with the updates. Like recently, the use of force policy, the governor has come down and has said some stuff has to be in use of force policies. And so with Lexipol, they have their policies, which are based on federal and state guidelines, and they're backed by their attorneys, and they've got a whole staff that does the policies. So we will have their services after they complete the policy manual, which will be thousands of pages. After they complete that, we'll have 12 months where they will do any updates or amendments to any of the policies. After that, we will keep them up. So this will be just a one-time fee.
Okay,
Thanks, Major Walker. Right now, I would entertain a motion in a second, and then we can open the floor for discussion. Is there a motion to approve?
so moved.
Motion by Commissioner Ross. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Commissioner England. And I'm sure there are some questions. If anyone would like to ask Major Walker, Justin, questions concerning this, I will open the floor for discussion.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I have a question. After he said this is a one-time thing, will that 16,000 then move back down to law enforcement equipment? Because I know they have a real need for that, and I want to make sure that that returns to that, so we don't to forget that we have that up there. And
This being a one-time expenditure, I think that would be our discretion as to whether we move that back or not. Is that correct, Commissioner, Director Cotton?
Yes, that would just be set during next year's budget, as it is every year. I mean, it would be to the sheriff to request it, and then the committee to decide.
I just know
Okay.
they're always needing new equipment, and that's a pretty big chunk there. Thank you.
Okay, any more questions for Justin or Major Walker?
I have a question.
Yes, sir, Commissioner Taylor.
Can you hear me all right, guys?
Yes.
Can everybody hear me okay? Okay.
Sure.
Major Walker, I guess this kind of be for you, I guess.
Okay.
The new employee you're talking about hiring, that's going to be, the money's coming from what you would say was our old cook, you would say. With hiring a new employee, we hope that our contracted food service works out, but if not, if something was happening and it don't work out, will you be able to hire another employee within your budget without having to ask for more money to back over the food service?
One thing about the food service, we do have a 2-year contract, but we do have we have employees that we can have in the kitchen. We ran for, I think it was 6 months without this. So yes, we would be able to fill that position.
Okay. All right. That's the only question I had. I was just kind of curious about that. I hope our food service works out great. I really do, but there's always that if.
Correct. And it seems to be doing very well. They do have their staff hired in now. They seem to be doing well. Everything's running smooth. It's taking a lot off of our corrections officers at this time and our jail administrator.
Good. That's good to hear. I'm glad to hear that. And we're
Hey.
saving money.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to just touch on what Christie said a little bit to Major Walker. That $16,000, I'm kind of like her. It's a little bit of a chunk to take out. I'm just, Major Walker, I'm satisfied you guys are good with this 16,000. I'm kind of like her. I don't want you to get 6-8 months down the road and worried that you need some kind of a piece of equipment, whatever that might be, and you wished you hadn't have done that. So,
Right. We all sat down, the sheriff, chief deputy, myself, and jail administrator. We all sat down and went through some stuff. We've been over the last 2 years with what we've got from the county commission. We've been able to do a lot and able to get stuff that we've never had. We sat down and kind of looked over what some of the big purchases we might have to have in the law enforcement equipment. And we feel comfortable that we're going to be good because I know the last 2 years, kind of at the end of the budget, where we've been using that money, just looking at stuff that we could use it on and get it in at that time. So, but we sat down with what we have and what we know we're going to need, and we feel comfortable that we are going to be good.
All right, thank you for that.
Major Walker, we spoke about this earlier, but I just want to ask this question before the committee. And my understanding and your opinion is that once we hire this position, you feel like the jail is pretty well staffed as it should be?
It is. We've got a few spots right now. I believe 4 spots that are open correction officer wise. Most of that is due to the city. Police department has hired several of our corrections officers. So they've went on to become certified officers, but yes, everything will be fully staffed.
Okay, thank you. Are there any more questions for Major Walker or Director Cotton?
Let me get caught up just a sec.
All right. Major Walker, while Commissioner Savage is catching up, could you give us a approximate population update, please?
Yes. Over the last month, we've been running in the neighborhood of between 180 and 190. It's gone back up from the first of this outbreak of the pandemic, from where we got down to 130. A lot of that was due to courts not really being in session and nothing going on through the courts. With courts back, people are coming in, getting their sentences and stuff. So we are going back up. We're hoping we can keep it down. This 190 number is a pretty decent number compared to the 330 that we had 2 years ago. So we're hoping to keep it at that.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Savage, are you current?
I'm ready.
Okay. Any more discussion before I call for the vote? Okay, please call the roll, Commissioner Savage.
Hold on, let me get my other sheet. Randy England,
Yes.
Christy Ross,
Yes.
Scott Rubley,
Yes.
Tommy Savage votes yes. Cole Taylor,
Yes.
motion carries 5-0.
Thank you, Commissioner Savage. Director Cotton, do you have anything else for tonight?
I do not.
Okay, neither do I. Is there any more discussion or anything needs to be? If you'd like to ask Major Walker any questions or Director Cotton, that'd be a good time.
Mr. Chairman, I have a question for Major Walker,
Yes, sir.
or it may be even for Mr. Haley. I'm not sure. Any news or update on the HR person at the jail?
You mean the not the HR, but the
Yeah, I mean, I meant the, yeah, you know what I'm
psychological.
talking about.
Psychiatric.
Yeah,
Yeah, we've got. I think that was only one bid come in, and we've been in discussion with them about what their terms are, and I believe it's been sent to the county attorney to kind of look over what they proposed. And I'm not sure. Director Cotton might have some more on this. I'm not sure if he does or not.
No, the last I had was that it was with the attorney, and we're waiting to hear back, waiting on a recommendation to take to financial management as to whether or not we want to rebid it or accept the bid we have.
thank you.
Yes.
I do have a question. Will this person be as a regular employee, or is it going to be a contract employee?
Are you talking about the mental health specialist?
Yes.
Let me refer that to Director Cotton.
Okay.
It was bid out as a contracted service, so
Okay.
it wouldn't be a single employee. It would just be a service provided.
Yeah, it may be a company that provides that service, maybe possibly a different person at different times
Yeah.
or something, or maybe the same
Yeah.
person. Okay.
Yeah, it would be as the company kind of filled the needs of the jail.
Okay. That's all.
All right. Does anybody else have any business that needs to come before this committee tonight?
I make a motion, we adjourn from it.
Motion by
Second.
Commissioner Wright, second by Commissioner Taylor. If there's no opposition, all in favor say aye. Okay. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good afternoon.
Have a good night, everybody.
Hey, everybody. See
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.